Now let's try to balance these unbalanced chemical equations or equation. Alright, so let's start with enumerating all the elements involved in the reactant side and the elements involved in the product side. So as you can see, in the reactant side, there is only 1 mole of potassium. So you write 1 here. Then for oxygen, there are 1 mole here plus 2 moles here, a total of 3 moles of oxygen. For hydrogen, 1 mole, carbon is 1 mole. Let's go to the product side, 2 moles of potassium. For oxygen, there are 3 moles here plus 1 mole here, a total of 4 moles of oxygen in the product side. For hydrogen, there are 2 moles, carbon is 1. So as you can see, it's not balanced. So let's balance this out. Let's do the trial and error method. Okay? Always remember to only change the coefficients. You are not allowed to change the subscript. Alright? That's the rule in balancing chemical equations. So let's start with potassium. As you can see, 2 in the product side, 1 in the reactant side. Just put 2 in the coefficient and distribute the 2 coefficient to the elements involved. So 2 potassium, and this time the oxygen is 2 plus, okay, 2 oxygen as well in the next factor. 2 plus 2 is 4. And the H is also 2, okay? It will, because of this coefficient, H will also become 2 or 2 moles. Then as you can see, naging balance na ang ating chemical equation. Let's have another example. Okay, again, enumerate the elements involved in the reactant side and the product side. So 1 sodium, 2 chlorine, here 1 sodium, and 1 chlorine. So let's balance this out. So anong ating gawin? So, since 2 ang chlorine dito, lagyan natin ng 2 ang coefficient ni chlorine dito. Okay? Just write 2. As you can see, si sodium is magiging 2 na rin. So, just write. Okay? Magiging 2 na siya. Si chlorine is nagiging 2 na. So, this time, si sodium naman dito sa reactant side, hindi naging balance. Balance na si chlorine, both in the reactant side and the product side. So, ang gawin lang natin, lagyan ng 2 si Na or si sodium here. 2 as coefficient, not as subscript. Okay? So, as you can see, wow, balance na ang ating chemical equation. Okay? Let's have another example. Again, enumerate the elements involved. Okay, iron is 1, oxygen is 1, carbon is 1 in the reactant side. In the product side, 1 iron, 2 oxygen, 1 carbon. So, as you can see, si oxygen, hindi siya balance. Okay? So, anong ating gawin? Let's just put 2 here. No? So, it will make oxygen now 2 in the reactant side. But this time, si iron, magiging 2 din. Okay? Just put 2. And sa product side, hindi na sila balance. So, just put 2 in the coefficient side of the iron. So si iron sa product side 2 na. As you can see, balanced na ang ating chemical equation. So, ganyan lang. Let's have another example. Okay? Silicon 1, oxygen 2, carbon 1. Silicon 1, carbon 2, oxygen po pala ang next, and carbon 2. So, as you can see, unbalanced si oxygen and si carbon in the reactant and the product side. So, ang ating gawin, let's just put coefficient in the here, okay? Put 2 here. So that will make oxygen 2 this time. But si carbon magiging 3 na, no? 2 plus 1, magiging 3 na siya sa product side, si carbon. So what are we going to do? Very easy lang. Since 3 na si carbon dito, lagyan lang natin ng 3 sa coefficient side si carbon in the reactant side. So this time, magiging 3 na ang, okay, 3 moles na si carbon sa reactant and in the product side. Another example. Okay, let's have more examples. Okay, again, enumerate all the elements involved. So iron here is 1, chlorine is 3, sodium is 1, okay, oxygen is 1, hydrogen is 1. Iron is 1, oxygen, since it is enclosed in the parentheses, CO and CH, so si subscript na 3 ay i-distribute natin sa bawat isa sa kanila. So oxygen is 3, H is also 3. Si sodium is 1, chlorine is also 1. So let's balance this out. So, ang una lang natin gawin is, let's just write 3 here, 3 coefficient, or let's just write coefficient 3 here. And of course, since may 3 na dito, si sodium is magiging 3 na, si oxygen as well, we're still referring the reactant side, magiging 3 na din.
3O and 3H.
Okay, wait. Let's first have it. So as you can see, H will become, or will have 3 moles in the reactant side this time. Examining in the product side, as you can see, 3 na rin yung H dito sa product side. So balance na siya. CO3 din, both sides. However, si Na and Cl, they are not balanced kasi 3 si Cl in the reactant side, 1 naman sa product side. Si Na is 3 in the reactant side, 1 sa product side. So what are we going to do? All we have to do is we are going to put the coefficient of, what coefficient? Coefficient of, to balance the 3 in the reactant side, coefficient of 3 in this part. So, magiging 3 na si Na and magiging 3 na rin si Cl. And as you can see, the whole equation is now, or the whole chemical equation is now balanced. Okay, let's have another example. Okay, aluminum here is 1, hydrogen is 2, sulfur is 1, oxygen is 4. Aluminum here is 2, and it's inside the parentheses, so everything in here is multiplied to 3. So sulfur is 3, oxygen is 12, because 4 times 3 is 12, then hydrogen is 2. Let's balance this out. So let's start with putting, okay, we can have it balanced like, let's start by putting aluminum. Alright, so, as you can see, mas complicated si oxygen kasi 12 in the product side and 4 sa reactant side. So, let's first start to balance this out. So, what are we gonna do? So, we can put coefficient 3 here, okay? So, it will make oxygen in the reactant side 12 this time because it's 3 times 4, it's 12, and yeah, the sulfur is now 3 as well, and hydrogen is 6. Okay, so as you can see, balanced na si sulfur and si oxygen both sides. So let's have the hydrogen in the product side adjusted to become 6, just like in the reactant side. So put 3 coefficient, so 3 times 2 is now 6. And for aluminum, okay, so aluminum is 2 here, in the reactant side it's 1, just put 2. Okay, so actually you can choose whatever steps you want to, as long as you can still arrive at the same answer, at the same balanced chemical equation. Now let's have another example. So again, enumerate all the elements involved. So N has 1 mole, H has 3 moles, copper has 1 mole, oxygen has 1 mole in the reactant side. For the product side, we have 2 moles of nitrogen, 2 moles of hydrogen, 1 mole of copper, 1 mole of oxygen. So as you can see, balance na in the... Alright, so balance na si oxygen and si copper, both sides. Okay? Balance na sila both sides, both in the reactant side and in the product side. Alright, so as you can see, balance na si copper and oxygen both sides, but hindi pa balance si hydrogen at saka si nitrogen. So what are we gonna do? Let's first start by balancing the nitrogen. So we may write, okay, 2 here coefficient, 3 here coefficient, and this time si nitrogen is magiging 2 na, 2, si H or the hydrogen magiging 6, and on the other side magiging 6 din si hydrogen, but si oxygen is magiging 3. So what are we gonna do? Since nagiging 3 si oxygen here, we're going to put 3 here to balance out the oxygen in the product side. Since nagiging 3 moles na si oxygen in the product side, gawin din natin 3 si oxygen in the reactant side. Let's put 3 as the coefficient here. So si copper magiging 3 na rin. Okay? As you can see, magiging 3 na rin si copper. And si copper in the product side, 1 pa rin. So let's put 3 as the coefficient in copper para magiging balance na sila lahat. So just put 3 coefficient for copper. As simple as that. And magiging 3 na si copper. Okay, so this is now a balanced chemical equation. So that ends our practice problems. So let's try to have this. Okay, you try to do this on your own. Okay. Alright, so you try to answer this. Write a balanced equation for the reaction of aluminum metal with sulfuric acid to produce aluminum sulfate and hydrogen gas. So, as you all know, you have to be able to write the chemical formula for you to be able to arrive at a chemical equation. So you have to answer this by starting off with writing the chemical formulas involved in the chemical equations, and after which you balance that chemical equation. So see you on our next lesson. No, we'll have a quiz after you answer this example. I'll give you another example after you answer this, by the way. So I give you 1 minute. Pause this video. 1 to 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's up to you. Just pause this video. So here is the chemical equation for the reaction. So again, for this discussion, we will not give emphasis on the physical states of the reactants and products, so we may not indicate them for now. So let's check whether the reaction or the chemical equation is now balanced. Aluminum here is 1, here is 2, so it's not balanced. So let's balance this out. And you should be able to arrive at the answer. Okay, this is the answer for our example. Alright, so let's have another example. And this is the answer for our second example. Alright, so for more videos, just visit our channel. So let's have a quiz for our next part. Bye-bye. Thank you.